Hey church family, how you doing today? Coming here from the late lounge, right into your lounge. Hope you're doing really good. It's Tuesday today and we've got one more day until our full lockdown. And hope you've been looking after each other and just been spending time catching up, messaging people and spending time with God. I want to tell you an exciting story or a testimony today. So our neighbours just behind us, they had to move out. They'd already given notice. And the new tenant was going to move in at the start of April, and of course everything's just changed for them, and so they were looking at moving out on Saturday and getting the local op shop to pick up some of their gear, like their beds and stuff, and very quickly they had to make a decision to get on the road. They managed to find a little Airbnb over in Napier, and you might remember these guys, Sonia and Villas and their two kids, and a lovely family. And so we had to say goodbye to them today. But the amazing thing was that we had some space up in the loft, and we said, look, you can pop your gear in there because they had to get rid of it. And then they came to us and they said, well, look, we're okay to put it in the spare room. So Ethan and I popped over and helped them move some gear. And as we were doing that, we heard from Jenny Warren, who's from our church, who messaged through on our new message chat. I hope you're part of our message chat. You can be, by the way. You can join in, get Messenger. You don't have to get Facebook. I'll send you out a link as to how to do that. But then you can join our chat and you can just be in touch with the rest of our church at any point, get encouragement. Anyway, Jenny sent through this message saying that there was a family that were staying in a camper van at their property. They were about to fly back to Switzerland, and suddenly the borders have closed, all the planes have stopped flying, and these folks are stranded. Beautiful family of four, and then the camper van company said, we have to have your camper van back right now. And so this family was left without a place to stay, and I can imagine just what a terrifying thing that might feel like, to be trapped in another country and have nowhere to go. And so Jenny put it out there, and does anyone know a need? And it just so happened the loft was free, and so really cool. We were just able to offer it. But not only that, is that all the gear that Villas and Sonia had was able to go to this family. So they got to have double bed, they got to have a round family dining table, they got a new couch, there's like bedding and stuff for them, and it's just perfect and it's set up for them. And it just felt like such an incredible God moment. Just the timing was perfect, and so neat that we had this kind of moment where the church worked together, where these guys, Jenny and Cliff, were able to let us know about a need that they knew of. The church was in a position to be able to help, and then our old neighbours, just the generosity they showed to let their gear go free for anybody who needed it. And there was this family who really was in need, and it reminded me of this story that Jesus told in Luke chapter 10. It says here that there was a religious scholar who stood before Jesus, and he was trying to test Jesus' doctrines. And he posed this question. He said, "Teacher, what requirements must I fulfill if I want to live forever in heaven?" And Jesus replied, "Well, what does Moses teach? What do you read in the law?" And the teacher said, "It states you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your passion, all your energy, and your every thought. And you must love your neighbour as well as you love yourself." And Jesus said, "That's correct. Go and do exactly that." And wanting to justify himself, he said to Jesus, "Well, what do you mean by my neighbour?" And so then Jesus goes on to the story of the Good Samaritan, about this man who has been beaten up by robbers. And there's a couple of guys, a priest and a Levite, religious people, that pass by and don't even help this guy who's bleeding and dying. And then a Samaritan, who is somebody who was rejected by the Jews, and really, I guess you'd say a half-caste. He was the person that the Jews would not expect Jesus to talk about in this story. But it was the Samaritan that stopped, and he was the one who treated this guy, treated his wounds, took him to an inn, paid the innkeeper to help him to get well, and he said, "I'll check in and make sure that he's good on the way back, and I'll give you more money if you need." And so Jesus says to him, "Now tell me, which one of these three men who saw the wounded man proved to be the true neighbour. And the religious scholar responded, the one who demonstrated kindness and mercy. And Jesus said, you must go and do the same as he. And so it's just such a poignant little story for us right now, because who are our neighbours? I mean, well, they're all around us, actually. And I just really believe that this is a beautiful time for us as a church to be able to open our eyes and to look with God's eyes and to see who are the people he's putting around us to love and to reach out to. And just so cool that we as a church were able to help a family here who are in some real need, who, you know what, they're not New Zealanders, they're certainly not Devonportians, they're people from right around the other side of the world, but they're our neighbours. And just really, really neat. We praise God for that. And I want to encourage you as we step into this time of isolation, you know, maybe there are people nearby you who have needs, and maybe you're in a position to be able to help in some kind of way. Let's be doing that. And I really want to encourage you to get onto the Light. It's called the Light Church Family. It's the messenger chat, and I'll send you out a link, and then you can get it on your phone and you can send through encouragement, you can send through testimonies, and we can also notify of any needs that we know about, which is exactly what happened today. So it's cool. It's the church being the church, and what a cool thing that is. So hey, we love you heaps and hope you're doing really well, and shout out to you and your family, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.